Hello and welcome. My name is Julia Flores and I am co-founder of CS for Success. Today is the first episode in a series that we titled Involving the Village. And we called it that because we wanted to make sure that we interviewed and captured what the experiences are from the different people that support students throughout their journey. We have the perspective of a parent. So please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Veronica. I'm a Latina and I was born, raised, and currently work as a teacher's assistant on the south side of Chicago. And my daughter loves computer science.
Where did your daughter's computer science journey start?
It started in school. She came home one day and she had a login and password for 𝘤𝘠𝘭𝘢. And we just took off from there.
Now, did you have a background in computer science before that, or did you know something about computer science before the login?
I do not have a background. However, I have a few relatives who are computer scientists. Both of them are very successful. One went to college, one didn't.
Now you have your daughter in an out-of-school time program, after-school program. Tell me a little bit about that.
So she is in a robotics club that is in Indiana. She is given a challenge at the beginning of every competition, and the students or the kids have to come up with strategies on how to complete the challenge.
Okay. Are they given their robot already built, or they're building it? They have scraps that they're
Yes,
using?
they have scraps and they have to build it from the ground up. And they have to code the robot so that it moves in the direction that they need to move it in. They're also programming the remote so that, each button has a certain command. It's very intense, very intense.
I think I heard you say Indiana.
Yes.
How did you end up over there?
So she did start her journey in computer science at school. However, that program no longer was available. So I looked in the area for something because she was really interested and found nothing. So then a relative actually reached out to me because her daughter was in a program and they had started their own VEX club, and they wanted my daughter to come over.
Wow, that is very amazing that they started their own program since there was nothing around.
Yes.
Is that expensive? You're talking about robots. Robots sound expensive.
So yes, it can be, right? You got this robot, so you have to get the batteries, the motor, the pieces. You have to have a computer to code it. So it can be expensive. However, there are tons of free resources like 𝘤𝘠𝘭𝘢 and Scratch that are free.
Okay. And is your daughter expected to have a robot on this team?
No.
Okay.
No. Her team provides that for her. They do all the fundraising. So no.
How much time are you spending for this after-school program? Is it equivalent to like being on a sports team?
So for us, it's a little different because we are traveling to Indiana, so there goes an additional 40 minutes, but the practices are 2 hours of practice 2 times a week. And as they get closer to these competitions, they do add a practice, so it becomes 6 hours a week of robotics.
Well, so that's not too bad. Like if you have your child in softball or basketball, you might have 1 hour after school every day. At least that's what I remember. So it's not terribly different.
No, it isn't.
Saying.
And then, the competitions are on the weekend. Some of her practices land on the weekend as well. So it's really it's not bad at all.
What are some of the skills that your daughter is learning?
Communication, problem solving, team building is a huge one. And I love her communication skills are better now. Her confidence is up there. So she's learning all kinds of stuff that she can apply into other things like schools and her personal life.
Have you noticed an improvement in any of her skills prior to this?
Yes, she was a very quiet kid, and now she's, her confidence with talking to adults is very, very good.
So how about in other subject areas? Have you noticed any of those, like you said problem solving, I would imagine in math, right? Like what have you noticed has changed
So in school, definitely math. It's not like you get a problem and you're like giving up already because it's so hard. Well, computer science has taught her that to keep pushing, to keep trying. If there's not one way to figure it out, there's going to be another way.
So she's persistence.
Persistence, yes. Persistence,
stamina.
Yes.
All of the great things that we talk about in education. How do you as a parent support your daughter in her computer science journey?
So I stay at the practices. So that way I can learn the skills and the strategies that they're using, how they're keeping score, how much each task that they complete, how much it's worth. And I stay at these practices because I want to know these things so that when she does talk to me about it, like, hey, Mom, we were doing X, Y, and Z today, and this is how many. I want to be there so that I can learn these things so that when she does talk to me, I can go back and forth with her. It's not like I'm just sitting there like, that's such a great job, that's nice. I love hearing that. I can actually communicate back and forth with her, and we can have this amazing conversation about the thing that she loves.
But what I hear you saying is that you could have a career in computer science having gone to college and not go to college. There are some certifications that will allow you to work in the field and be very successful and make very good money. I also heard that there aren't very many programs here, right? But that you could look in other places, that you looked online, yes. I would imagine, right? You went around, probably asked the school if they had any after school programs, and you started, asking the people in your network and family members.
Correct.
I also heard that it's not very costly, but it could be. So if you have a child that absolutely wants to, you could spend a ton of money building a computer or buying an expensive robot. But it doesn't have to be. And the time commitment is also pretty equivalent or manageable. Yeah. It's manageable, right? So all of those things are things that I would imagine a parent would want to know when supporting or choosing another thing to add to their student's plate, right? So thank you very much for joining us and sharing your computer science journey, and as well as your daughter's.
Yes.
That concludes this episode, and join us for the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.